Wayne here. In this video, I like to discuss the September 23rd, 2015 Rapture speculation. For those who do not know, there's a lot of speculation on the internet, and particularly on YouTube, that the Rapture may take place on September 23rd, 2015. I'm doing this video because I've received multiple requests from multiple people to do a video on this topic because this topic is so widespread and prominent. For those who do not know, I've been studying Bible prophecy since I was 16 years old, and I've written about Bible prophecy for the last several years. 4 years ago, I wrote about September 23rd, 2015 at a time when some people were concerned about May 21st, 2011 being the end of the world. Remember Harold Camping? Yeah, so this isn't my first time writing about the end of the world. Before I did the video, I downloaded a long document from one of the prominent teachers of September 23rd, 2015. There are multiple teachers, multiple theories concerning September 23rd, 2015, but the one I'm going to deal with is the most prominent one, the most well-known teacher. I'm going to be taking on their theory. So without further ado, I'm going to, in part one of this video, share with you the timeline as I understand it, and in part two, I will share my thoughts and perhaps critique September 23rd, 2015. So here we go. The author of the teaching claims that there's been 6,000 years of creation and that this somehow is linked with the end of time. The author claims that June 1967, when Israel got Eastern Jerusalem, began a 7 prophetic week count. For those who are unfamiliar with the concept of prophetic week, a prophetic week is 360 days times 7. That's the length of a prophetic week. So 7 prophetic weeks would be 360 days times 7 times 7. So it's a long period of time. The author claims that October 2009, when the day that Barack Obama won the Nobel Peace Prize, started the 7th week of Daniel, or the time period that other people refer to as the tribulation. The author claims that March 22nd, 2013 was the midway point of the 7th week of Daniel. They linked the President Obama's visit to the Church of Nativity as the establishment of the abomination of desolation that you hear about in books like Daniel and the book of Matthew, and other chapters related to the Olivet Discourse. The author claims that September 23rd, 2015 will end the 7th prophetic week count that began in June 1967. That September 23rd, 2015 will be the start of the Jubilee year. And for those who do not know, a lot of people believe that the coming of Christ is linked to the start of a Jubilee year. And the author claims that September 23rd, 2015 is the rapture date. The author also claims that following September 23rd, 2015, there will be a great tribulation time period of 458 days. So with that, I will pause and I will return with part 2. Here again with part 2. In this part, I will go over the timeline and share some of my thoughts on it. The first thing I want to go over is the 6,000 years leading to the end of time. By the author's own admission, there's been more than 6,000 years of creation, and by their calculation in the paper, they cited 6,002 years. In addition, James Ussher, a theologian from a few hundred years ago, created a Bible-based timeline that a lot of people believe in. His 6,000th year was in 2004. The reason why I'm mentioning the author's 6,002 year and Ussher's 6,000 year being back in 2004 is because Bible prophecy is supposed to be incredibly precise. Bible prophecy can be precise to the very day, as demonstrated by the first 69 weeks of Daniel's 7-week prophecy. So the 6,000 year concept of creation to the end of time is not precise like Bible prophecy should be. So that's my issue with that. The second thing would be the beginning of the 7-year count, prophetic week count, when Israel got Eastern Jerusalem. The author cites Leviticus and Daniel 9 to say that you do this. There's nothing in those chapters that tell you that you should be doing this. I think the author was creating an extra step in their attempt to prove a certain date. So I don't think what they did for June 1967 is Bible based. The next issue I have is October 2009 being the start of the 7th week of Daniel when President Obama won the Nobel Peace Prize. Recall that the author argues that the world declared Obama as our peacemaker. I don't know if the author knows or that many people know that the Nobel Peace Prize is decided by a committee of 5 people selected by the Norwegian Parliament. 5 people from Norway. This is not a representation of the world. 5 people in general should not be a representation of the world. If this was the United Nations, it would be a completely different story. But it's just 5 people from Norwegian Parliament. To say that Obama was declared as the world's peacemaker is complete hyperbole based on what I just said. And I recall back in 2009 that when it was announced that Obama won the Nobel Peace Prize, that a lot of people thought it was a joke because Obama had not even completed his first year as president of the United States. And look at what the world is now. It's not exactly peaceful. The next issue is March 22nd, 2013 is the midway point in the 7 week of Daniel when President Obama visited the Church of Nativity. Obama's visit to the Church of Nativity does not match up with the Bible details concerning the abomination of desolation of the midway point of the 7 week of Daniel. One of the things that Antichrist will do is that he will show himself and declare himself to be God and demand that he be worshipped as God. President Obama did not do this. If President Obama had done this, there would probably been impeachment proceedings in the United States because even the Democrats would probably thought this was kind of out there. So I don't think this was the midway point of the 7 week of Daniel at all. Actually, I don't even think this 7 week of Daniel has even begun yet, to be honest with you. So the next issue I have is the September 23rd, 2015 itself. The rapture is supposed to be preceded by the sun. The rapture, I think, is accurately described in the 6th seal in the book of Revelation. To get to the 6th seal, you have to go through the first 5 seals. There's not enough time. I don't think there's not enough time between now and September to go through the first 5 seals. I mean, the 2nd seal is World War. 4th seal is death of the 1/4 of the world's population. The 3rd seal is a severe global famine. You would have to fit all those things into less than 4 months. That's just too much in 4 months. So it's not realistic to pin it at September 23rd, 2015. And the final issue I want to discuss here is a 458-day Great Tribulation period that's supposed to begin after September 23rd, 2015. If you recall, if you know about the Olivet Discourse, you know about Matthew 24, Christ says, after the tribulation of these days, then the sun will darken and the moon will turn to blood. So you have that at the end of the Great Tribulation, then the rapture. The author of the September 23rd, 2015 theory has it completely backwards. So I don't think that matches up at all. So overall, there's nothing to be worried about. Just relax. I don't think anything's going to happen on September 23rd, 2015. If I could describe what this is in one action, this is basically fitting a square peg into a round hole. So there's nothing to be worried about. Wayne signing off. Goodbye.